In this edition of Classic Movie Trip, I'm taking you to a cinema that's a little bit of a drive from me, Tyneside Cinema, as me and my partner Emma recently got to experience the Tyneside Cinema's Halloween all-nighter event, and whilst there, I got to see a couple of movies. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel and thank you so much for tuning into this video. And normally in these classic movie trip videos, if this is the first one you're watching, I normally take you on a vlog to the cinema, you know, walk inside, everything like that, but I couldn't really get much footage because the cinema was crammed, and also I was there as part of like a Halloween all-nighter event. So yeah, in terms of the Halloween all-nighter event, the first movie that I got to watch was the Blair Witch Project, which came out in 1999, and I got to see this in its original format as well, which was pretty cool to have that experience. And yeah, I'd only ever seen the sequel of this of 2016, which we don't really talk about. Directed by Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez. This movie, of course, stars Joshua Leonard, Michael Williams, and Heather Donahue. And essentially, it's around 3 students who goes into the hills of Burkittsville, and they're there to kind of investigate a local legend as such called the Blair Witch. However, the 3 of them disappear, and a year later, the footage is found, and we get to experience that footage. So yeah, going into this movie, I was certainly interested because I know it's got a legacy. I know a lot of people talk about this movie. I know it's kind of well regarded by a lot of people. I also want to give a big shout out to a channel called Film Theory, who also did a theory about this, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, what's my overall thoughts on the Blair Witch Project? I thought it was okay. I can honestly say that, you know, I was intrigued by the movie. I was intrigued by kind of style and the artistic nature that went behind this movie, because of course this was shot in 1999, so getting to experience it for the first time ever, basically 23 years later. Pretty crazy, right? I would say overall, I like the dynamic of the 3 friends, or at least the 2 friends, because I know Mike, they didn't really know Mike as such, but yeah, I quite like the experience of all 3 of them. I like that it was kind of just set in this one location in the woods, and just to be honest with you, the backstory behind this whole movie is the most interesting part of the movie in general. Just the fact that when this was released, like a year or more, all the actors kind of went into hiding to believe that this was real, and this kind of took off in a craze of the internet and used that to its advantage in its marketing, where people were thinking, wow, this is real. Like, what's happened to the actors, or what's happened to the people inside this documentary? They've gone missing, like, what the hell's going on, kind of thing. All that kind of stuff, for me, is really, really interesting. There's a lot of stuff that went on behind the scenes on the making of this movie, which again, I found to be more interesting on research and find out a lot of this through my partner Emma than the movie itself as such. Again, I feel like this is possibly a product of its time, which is not necessarily a bad thing, and can't say that you can't enjoy it now, because when I mentioned before about the film theory, there's a theory here that he presented where the 2 friends plan to kill Heather, the main girl. Now, if you look at the movie from that perception, I think the movie is more enjoyable, because I was like, oh wow, okay, this is a pretty darn good theory. Kind of makes sense, you know? And I think from that perspective, I enjoyed the movie more on that, analysing that regard than taking it for what the movie's actually kind of presented. So I think this one's kind of a bit of a mixed bag overall in terms of the movie itself, and if you just took it for what it kind of is, it's alright. But if you took it from the film theory side of things, for me, I thought it was more enjoyable. So the Blair Witch Project, of course, came out in 1999. You can probably get it on like Blu-ray or whatever kind of format now. I got to experience it in its original 35mm, which was pretty darn cool. And yeah, that was the first movie that I got to experience in this Halloween all-night event at Tyneside Cinema. My overall score for the Blair Witch Project is a 2.5 out of 5 stars. So have you seen this movie? Are you yet to see this movie? Leave any and all comments down below so we can continue the discussion down there. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. And do you know that I also have a Patreon? Yeah, that's right, for only £2 per month. The link is down below in the description box. You get access to early videos, my release schedules, you get to see what goes onto the channel, 2 times entries and giveaway, and also a huge perk with a huge announcement coming very shortly, if not already, when this video is being made. And I also want to give a massive shout out to all my awesome patrons who help support the channel. But thank you so much for checking out this video, and until the next time I see you, I'll be seeing you later.